Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back on our journey with Sifat. In this video we will continue to talk about the Sifat that are mutabadda, that have opposites, and we will be talking about Istila and Istifal. So Bismillah, let's start. In terms of learning outcomes and what we want to get out of this video, we want to get three main points. The first is to understand the meaning of Istila and Istifal. The second is to associate Isti'la and Istifal with the direction of sound. And the third is to identify the letters of Isti'la and Istifal. Bismillah, let's go ahead. In the last few videos, we started to talk about Sifat. And we started to talk about the Sifat that have opposites. And we said that a letter either has this Sifa or that Sifa. So they're opposites. It either has this one or that one. And we said that Sifat are characteristics that describe the letter from a certain perspective. So we talked about Hams and Jahl, which describe the letter from the perspective of breath. We talked about Shiddah, Bayniyah and Rikhawa, which described the letter from the characteristic or the perspective of the flow of sound. Now, Isti'la and Istifal, which are the two Sifat, the two opposite Sifat we will study in this video, are characteristics of letters from the perspective of the direction of sound. From the perspective of the direction of sound. So what does that actually mean? Let's start with an example. Let's take the letter Kha. When we say Kha, Kha, when we say Kha, if you feel the sound goes upwards towards the upper palate. The sound rises upwards. We don't say kha, kha, we say kha. You hear the difference? Kha, that's sound rising upwards. Kha, kha, that's sound going downwards. If we say qa, qa, that's the sound going upwards. Qa. If it goes downwards, it will be qa, qa. You hear the difference in sound? Same with sa or sa. Same with other letters. Ba. Ra, we say ra, not ra, 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 sound is going upwards. Ra, sound is going downwards. So that's what Isti'la is. Isti'la is the direction of sound. So with certain letters, the direction of the sound is upwards towards the upper palate, is upwards. So the sound rises or is elevates upwards towards the upper palate. And that's where the word Isti'la comes from, translated as elevation. So the letters of elevation, the letters of Isti'la. Now, what is the opposite characteristic to Isti'la? The opposite is called Istifal. So Isti'la is where, as we said, the sound rises upwards, direction of sound is upwards. Istifal is where the direction of sound is downwards, the sound descends downwards. So we say ma, not ma, we say ma. Hear the difference? If we said ma, ma, that's sound going upwards, and that's incorrect. We say ma, where the sound descends. We take the letter ta, we say ta, and not ta, right? Ta, sound is descending downwards. If we say ta, ta, that's the sound going upwards. Ta, going downwards. Here's a couple of pictures with a couple of letters to explain the concept of direction of sound. So on the right, the letter qaf. So when we say qa, qa, the direction of sound is upwards. Look at those arrows. So we're saying qa, the direction of sound is going towards the upper palate. Qa, not qa. And on the left, the letter kaf. When you say ka, ka, the direction of sound with the kaf descends downwards. You see the green arrows? So the direction of sound descends downwards. We say ka. Now, if we were to say it incorrect and have the direction of sound upwards with the kaf, or elevated, or if we rise or have the direction of sound rise upwards, it would sound like ka, ka. You see, so correct is for the sound to descend downwards. Ka. That's the picture on the left. So once again, the qaf on the right, the sound, the direction of sound is upwards towards the upper palate. The kaf on the left, the direction of sound is downwards or descends. So what are the letters of Isti'la and Istifal? The letters of Isti'la are combined in a statement which makes it easy for us to remember, and the statement is خص ضغط قيض. خص ضغط قيض. So خا صا ضا غا طا قا ظا. All these letters are the letters of Isti'la, where the sound or the direction of sound is upwards. It rises. It is elevated. And all the remaining letters, except these, are the letters of Istifal, where the sound descends or goes downwards. So let's summarize once again and tick off those learning objectives. The first was to understand what Isti'la and Istifal mean. We said Isti'la and Istifal are characteristics of letters, and they're opposite characteristics. Isti'la, elevation, is when the direction of sound is upwards, it rises, it is elevated towards the top of the palate. And the letters are خص ضغط قيض. And all the remaining letters are the letters of Istifal, and they have the characteristic of Istifal, where the direction of sound, it descends downwards. So it doesn't rise upwards towards the upper palate. And the second learning objective was to associate Isti'la and Istifal with the direction of sound. So we've ticked that one off as well. And the third objective was to identify the letters. We said خص ضغط قيض are the letters of Isti'la, of elevation, and the rest of the letters, the remaining letters, are the letters of Istifal. That's it for this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.